back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well. Well, Pippa and I decided to come on and say hello to you today and see how you're all doing. We're going to be planting some seeds and I'm going to be sorting out my benches in the polytunnel so I can sort all my seeds out. So that's the job for today, and if the wheelbarrow arrives, which I've ordered, I'm going to finish putting leaves in their run and they can have a nice scratch in some leaves, get all the grubs and beasties out, make it into compost, and then I can put it on my garden. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do this week. Another thing I'm going to do this week is get really on with my seeds because it's March this week and I really want to get on and get stuck in and get things growing. And the weather's quite mild. We haven't had any frosts for ages, probably the beginning of the year now, the last time we had any frost. So yeah, so I'm going to get on with the seeds. There isn't any frost forecast at least for the next couple of weeks, and then the clocks go forward. So it's a good time now really to get things moving, get things started and get things sown. Pippa was having a good old screech. She sounded like a cattle market, so I decided to bring her in the polytunnel. So my onions are doing well, my garlic's doing well. I've been digging out the strawberries, they're doing well. I've got my leeks just behind you from last year. They seem to be coming on a pace. My broad beans are doing well. They're in the house at the moment, waiting to come out. The beetroot didn't work, but that was old seed. I didn't really expect anything. The onions didn't work. I didn't expect anything from that either. So I'm going to re-sow them today. And the leeks was a new packet and they haven't grown either. So I'm very disappointed with that. But I'm going to sow them again. I bought this in the pound shop last week. So I'm going to sow these today as well. There is sweet bell pepper in there. There's carrots, there's tomatoes. There's coriander, there's radish, there's beetroot, and I think chilies as well. So we're going to sow them as well today. So yeah, things are moving on apace. The sun's finally out at last. And I'm hoping it's going to stay dry long enough to dry the garden out because the garden is absolutely soaking. So yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be sowing some seeds. I'm going to be showing you building my benches. The girls are going to come in here and they're going to have a scratch and a peck in here as well. Mr. Fox is no longer Mr. Fox. The farmer dealt with him, so he's gone now. So he's not going to be getting my chickens or his lambs. So that was sorted. Mr. Stoat hasn't been back. Mr. Mole hasn't been back. So yeah, all is well in Wildwood Cottage Garden Diary. So in the Wildwood Cottage Garden. So that's good. Right, so I'm just going to go and get the rest of the chickens. We're all going to come in here, waiting for the sun to come up over the hill. It's just starting to make its way up over the trees. It's about 10:15 in the morning. So I'm just waiting for the sun to get up high enough so I can get in the garden and get my garden jobs done. Because I've got the hedge to do today. And I want to empty the compost bin and get that in here. So yeah, as you can see, there's plenty to do. There's always lots to do. A digging for victory garden takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, and I'm fighting the weather. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to go and get the rest of the chickens, bring them into the polytunnel, and we'll get on with some work. Right, so I just thought I'd show you some of the things I've been doing. I bought these shallots last week in the farm shop. They are lovely big bulbs. I think I have about 30 of them in there. So if each one produces about 8 bulbs, that is plenty. That's about 240 bulbs. So yeah, I think that's plenty. And then underneath them, I'll move them out your way. Oh, shut up, Pippa. I've got my onions. I bought some seed potatoes as well. These are first earlies. So these are going to go in bags. So they're going to get started. I've got yellow onions, 2 lots of yellow onions. I got these in the farm shop. I wasn't very impressed with the size, but I got quite a few. I got my red onions from the farm shop again. Not very impressed with the size, but they were quite cheap. and some more potatoes under there, which are all starting to sprout. So they're going to go in here in the polytunnel. And then over this side, these are the garlic I planted before Christmas. They have had the frost. Something's been having a little nibble out of that one, but they all seem to be growing really well. I've got that tray, and I've got that tray down there. This is my lettuce. Since the last video, the other three have rotted. They've not done very well, but this one seems to be hanging on, so that's good. My Russian kale's doing very well. I'm very happy. I got some lavender in the little shop in town the other day. I got 3 for £5, so they're happily in their little pot there. These are the strawberries I dug out of the Victory Garden last week, and I've still got a few more to plant, but they're doing very well. And I've got some more onions down there, all happily growing away, and very happy. And some more on this side that I started last week. So as you can see, there's quite a bit growing, there's quite a bit going on in here really. Right, so that's one side done on my bench. Got quite a bit on there. I've got another shelf to go under there and another shelf to go under there. But you know, I think that's going to be great. I'm going to do one on the other side, but this is just built out of my brother's old bed frame. I dismantled it, took all the wood out, and it's perfect, absolutely perfect for what I want. And then when I've finished with it, I can just unscrew it and grow my tomatoes and store it outside until the end of the summer, and then start again next year. So that'll be really useful, very useful. I still haven't decided what I'm doing beds wise, but I'm going to do this side now this afternoon and get this done, and then all that's done, and then what I can concentrate on then is building the bed and sorting out the doors. So that's a job well done this morning. So I'm going to carry on with that now. I'm just going to clear all these boxes out the way. I'm just going to dismantle them for now and then decide what I'm going to do later on. I think that's probably the best thing. So I'm going to knock all the hardboard off and start again. Because at the moment I can't picture what I want to do with them. They're too big to use in the house. But I think the wood will be useful wood for making things around the place. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dismantle them, take the hardboard off, and just leave the rectangle frames and see what I want to do with them later on. But it just gets them out of the way because there's 40 of them and that's far too many. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on with that and then I'll show you when I'm done. So this is my row of artichokes, and this is my hack, my wartime hack. I'm going to use this to get them out, and we're going to have a good look, see what we can find, and then we'll dig them all out, and then this row will be clear. Then I can get all the weeds out, get all the grass out, the brambles. There's some brambles growing in here as well, and rescue my rosemary bush. So we'll just put you down and then I'll show you what I've done. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get even the little bits out, because they'll regrow. And if you don't want them in this particular spot, you need to get them all out. Right, so as you can see, a really nice tubers this year. I have put my hack through a couple of them, sorry. But yeah, they're really nice tubers and they'll grow really well. So I'll do my best to get them out undamaged. But yeah, there's some nice ones there. Keep some for me tea. So that's just one plant, so that's not too bad, is it? Right, so crack on with the rest, and then once I've got them all out, I'll show you how many I got. Right, I'm doing Woolton Pie now. Woolton Pie. I don't know why I keep calling it Woolton. That's a haul, isn't it? Right, I've got 1.5 pounds of potatoes here. Looks a lot, but that's because I've chopped them up really small so they cook quicker. And then it says to put 1 pound of each of the following in salted water. Parsnip, cauliflower, swede, carrot. Says you could add a turnip too, and then it says cook it in the water, and it says keep 3/4 of a pint of the vegetable water. Now this recipe does 4 helpings. I don't want 4, I only want 2, so I'm going to do 1/2 pound of each of the vegetables. I've got my potato to go on the top. I can put some of this inside to thicken the sauce, and then that'll be our tea with some steamed vegetables on the side. Right, okay, so I've chopped my vegetables, and I've got a leek, I've got one of these turnips, I've got 8 ounces of that. I've got 8 ounces of leek, 8 ounces of carrot, and 8 ounces of parsnip, and that's all going to go into my Dutch oven. Mix it together. I'm also going to add some of this, which is veggie stock yeast extract. I add this to everything: soups, casseroles, stews, chilli, curry, anything. I add this in. It's a bit of a Vegemite, but it's cheaper. It's from Lidl. This one is £1.29, I think, from Lidl, and Vegemite's £3.99. And then I use these herbs, mixed herbs. I get this in Home Bargain, and it's about £1. And you get 85 grams, you get a huge amount, and a bit of black pepper and a bit of garlic that's down by the stove, so I can't show you that. So I'm going to use 1/2 tablespoon of mixed herbs because I like a lot of it. I like the flavour. I'm going to do my own next year. A grate of black pepper, my yeast extract. I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon of that in. The wall says everything level, so a level 1/2 teaspoon of my yeast extract and some garlic, and I'm just going to go and put it straight on the stove in some hot water. I've got a jar of garlic granules. I buy them in in the health food shop, and then it's about 85p, I think, and you get about 100 grams, something like that. 25 grams, I think it is. Oh, do you know, I don't know. I know I paid 85p and it filled my jar up anyway. So I'm going to use a teaspoon of garlic granules. I do use fresh garlic, but you know, I prefer the more intense garlic flavour of the granules and the stuff out of the jar. So that's going to go in my Dutch oven. It's all going to get cooked down for about 20 minutes, and then I'll put it together. So if I get time before my husband comes in, I'll show you putting together. Otherwise, I'll show you when it's finished. The lovely Alison comments below my videos. She's been commenting a lot lately below my videos, and I think it's great because she's giving out a lot of information, things that I do already, but things that I just don't get a chance to talk about on my channel because Otherwise, I'll be posting every day and I'll never be doing anything else, and I've got far too much to do that. I think 2 or 3 times a week is my maximum, really. But yeah, even that's a lot. But she puts lots of information below the videos. She gave a yogurt recipe the other day below my food haul video when I did the £30 shopping food haul. She also said below that video about growing these. Yeah, she's given loads of tips. So if you have a look below the video in the comments section, you'll see her comments. And if you're looking for more information about different things that you think you could be doing that I just really don't get time to talk about, because I pack such a lot into a video. If I did everything, you'd be here for hours. So yeah, do have a look in the comment section below. Do comment as well, and do like and subscribe. And that'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on here on my channel. And then you'll see what other people, advice people are sending to me that might be useful for you as well. So do keep up to date with what's going on down there. We are building a lovely community here. There's some lovely people that I speak to. There's the 2 Catherines. There's Jennifer, who lives in Lancashire. There's Maria, who's in Australia. Lenore's in Australia. There's so many people to talk to. So many I can't. There's Naomi as well. I think she's in Australia. And there's just so many people now that are coming along. And you know, it's getting to a point now where I'm thinking, I may not even be able to answer all your comments, because I'm getting like 20, 30, 40 comments below my videos, and it's such a lot to keep up with. Last night I answered all the comments and it took me 2 hours. So I'm sort of getting to a point now where I'm sorry, but I may not be able to answer all your comments. But I do read them all. I read every single one. I sit there and I chuckle away to all the things that you say back to me. So yeah, it's lovely. So do have a look down there and see what you can see. There's also loads of links down there. There's a link to my Ko-fi shop. There's the link to buy me a coffee as well, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or the girls a treat, just as a little treat to us for all the work that we do put in here on this channel, because I don't get paid. It's all free. And yeah, just come along and be part of the community. It's such a lovely space to be. We just have a good time, we have a laugh, and we just have a respite from what's going on in the rest of the world, whilst being informed and trying to keep on top of things. So yeah, I'm just going to go and plant these, and then when we come back, hopefully I'll have enough time before my husband comes home to show you me putting the pie together. If not, I'll just put a picture in at the end and show you it all served up, because I'm running out of time. It's 20 to 5, he'll be home in half an hour. So it all depends on the stove, whether it cooks in time. So yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. So my potatoes are ready. I'm just going to mash them. The vegetables are done, so I'm going to pop it all together in the pan, bit of cheese on the top, and pop it in the oven. The vegetables are also ready, so just put the dish. Right, so I'm going to use the stock for my gravy. I'm just taking all the veg out. Popping it in the dish. You're encouraged during the war to keep the stock. Waste nothing. In fact, you would hold it over the coals and find if you were caught wasting anything, it could be reused. Gosh, you've gone a long way from that now. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix some stock. I always make my own gravy, I don't buy it. This is a gravy browning. It's just caramel, basically. That's the ingredients. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, it's vegetarian. Water, food colouring and salt. Just put a bit of that in there. A bit more pepper. A bit more mixed herbs. And a little tiny bit more garlic. There we go. Right, just want some cold water in that. Make sure there's no lumps. I've got some stock left off the potatoes. Mix that in. And then add that to that. Give it a stir and it'll start to thicken now. I'm going to add a little bit of mashed potato. And put it back on the stove.
she says. Hello, everybody. No, you can't have my phone.
So just come out from a tea break, have a break from the garden. Sun's gone. It's gone quite cold. It's still out in that direction, but it's totally in shade in the garden. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you a couple of things that I've been buying. Much to my husband's disgust, but I bought one of these. Found it on eBay. I think it was £3.50. And I thought I'd put it up in here. And then that'll be a nice reminder of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So I'm very happy with my dig for victory. Dig on for victory, it says. So that's what we're going to be doing. Because as I explained in my last video, with all the stuff going on with my allergy at the moment, dig for victory is going to be very important to me, to my house, and my life, to make sure that I can be healthy and strong. So yeah, the other thing I bought is a book that was recommended to me by a viewer, and it's the Wartime Farm. Now, I loved the programmes to go with that. I love anything to do with these three here. It is Ruth Goodman, Alex Langland and Peter Ginn, or Gin. I've shown you the Victorian farm. Well, this one's the Wartime Farm. And the series was recommended to me. Now, I've watched the series and I've eaten it. Watched it so many times. But I came across the book and I thought, you know, I'm going to buy the book. It was only £3. It was one of those world books or pre-loved books or something like that. It's like, sadly, the cover's a little bit damaged. But it's got so much information in it. If you're interested in the wartime, like I am, and you're interested in this series, then it's a lovely book. There's some lovely illustrations. There's lots of words to read, lots of pictures to look at, which I like. I like looking at pictures. Different articles on different things that they had to do during the war. The one thing I'm interested in is rations, and there's actually preserving recipes in here. There's a whole host of recipes. Talks about the ration book. There's loads of recipes, as I say, things that you can cook with. So yeah, it's a really, really good book. She's even got a growing plan for the garden. That one there, which I'm going to find very useful. This is what I'm thinking of following, and it goes in line with that leaflet that I've got that I showed in one of my other videos that I put in the I button up here. But this is going to be a very useful chart to follow. Grow for winter as well as summer, it says. Year-round crops, it talks about how to plan your victory garden for year-round crops. Routine tasks that you need to do, gathering seeds, a planting table, so you know what to use, how to use them, the amount that you'll need for your house, the amount that you'll need for your row, how many rows you'll need, natural remedies. It's got so much information in here. Food rationing, she's got a whole section on war rationing, so I'm going to have a good look through that. And then she's also got a thing about the currency of eggs. And then she's also got about foraging as well, which is fantastic. It's all the things that I've been talking about here on my channel. How to make things. She's making elderflower cordial as well as a recipe for that. Yeah, so lots of things in this book. I highly recommend it. Preserving, as I say, there is recipes for jams and things like that. Dried fruits, how to dry apples. So yeah, I'm going to have a really good look through it, and I may even do some recipes out of it. But as I say, I can't cook meat, I can't cook fish, and everything that I'm doing is from scratch. So you're going to have to bear with me if you think my recipes aren't true to the wartime. I've got to think of my own health. I've got to think of how these things are going to affect me, whether they're going to trigger off my allergy. And I want to be healthy. So there's not going to be a lot of meat recipes. If you do want wartime meat recipes, then I do suggest looking around on YouTube because I can't do them because I can't eat them. So there's no point in me doing a wartime challenge, frugal living, if the food's just going to go to waste because I can't eat it. So unless I can get grass fed, and I can guarantee it's not had any rapeseed at all whatsoever, there's going to be no meat and no fish in my recipes. It's just simply going to be vegetables, fruits and nuts and seeds. So if that's not what you're here for, then I quite perfectly understand that. But as far as recipes go, I've got to be true to myself. I've got to look after my own health so I can look after my husband. And we're just going to have to muddle through and see what we can cook in keeping with the wartime theme. She talks about making cheese. I can't make cheese. I could make it for my husband, but I'm not sure how hyper I am to making things like that now with this histamine reaction that's going on. So I'm not going to make anything like that for the time being. I'm going to continue making yogurt because I can, because that's in a sealed container. But like I say, I can't. So yeah, there's loads of information in this book. As I say, I got mine for £3. If this is the kind of thing that you're interested in, I highly recommend it, and I'd highly recommend you having a look. So yeah, they're my two wartime things that I've found today. I have been pottering about in the garden. I've not been up to much, so I just thought I'd come and have a cup of tea. And then I'm going to go and dig my artichokes out because I still haven't done them. I've just been far too tired. So I've just put the fire on. I'm going to sort out the tea, and we're going to have vegetable lasagna for tea tonight with no cheese on the top. My husband can have cheese grated on his if he wants, but other than that, there'll be no cheese on the top. And I may even make a bread to go with it, either that or a bolognese. So one or the other, because I've got an aubergine that I found in the food surplus place. So I thought I'd use that. I will be going to the food surplus again this week, so if I find anything interesting, I will show you. And we'll have a look at that together. I do have another frugal recipe coming for you next week. So I'll put that together and you can have a look at that. And that's just some of the things that I do around the house to save money that cost me pennies. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go. It's getting a little bit cold. I want to go in and I want to go and get on with the tea and put the girls away. So I'll see you in the next video. If you would like to buy me a cup of coffee to support my work here on YouTube and all the hard work that I put into my YouTube channels, the link is in the description bar below. It'll cost you no more than the cost of a cup of coffee, which is just a couple of pounds. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.